What's going on, guys? My name is Steven. I'm a licensed physical therapist, and in this video, we're going to go over some exercises that you can do for low back pain or sciatic nerve pain. Now, these exercises are going to be geared towards strengthening your core and strengthening the muscles of your lower back. I previously made a video discussing particular stretches that you should do if you have low back or sciatic nerve pain, and I'll link that at the end of the video so you can go ahead and click on that one as well. But in this video, we're going to focus on strengthening exercises. The reason why these are so important is because a lot of times low back pain is caused from muscle imbalances. And typically this comes from an imbalance between your core and your low back, and the fact that they're unable to support you, especially when you're going to lift something or if you're in poor posture throughout most of the day. These exercises are fairly easy to perform. You don't need any equipment at all, and they should only take you a few minutes per day to perform. Now, I would recommend that you do these exercises if you're suffering from low back pain, and even if you're not suffering from low back pain, I also recommend performing them as a prophylactic measure in order to strengthen these muscles, because so many people out there have weak cores and weak low back muscles that they're at serious risk of injury if they make one wrong move. So this video is pretty much for everybody. These core and low back muscles are what support your body as you're going to lift anything or as you move in various positions throughout the day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So everybody, for these first few exercises, you're going to either need to get down on the floor or you can perform these right in your bed. So the first exercise we're going to do is extremely important because you're going to be building on this exercise in the future exercises. The first step you want to do is master the posterior pelvic tilt. So what do I mean by that? So you can either go into an anterior pelvic tilt, where you tilt your pelvis forward and you have space between the floor and your low back. So that is not what we want to do for this exercise. What we want to do is do a posterior pelvic tilt, where you tilt your pelvis backward and you press it down into the floor. So if I reach below my back here, I should not have any space between my back and the floor. So you're pressing that down nice and tight, and you're just holding that position for about 5 seconds and then relax. So you want to do this about 10 or 15 times to make sure that you're doing it properly. Along with pressing the low back, you also want to gently squeeze your lower abdominal muscles. So you want to bring your belly button down towards the floor as you're pressing the low back against the floor. So if you feel your lower abdominal muscles right below your belly button, you should feel it get a little bit tight underneath your fingers. If it does, you're doing it properly. Make sure you're working on this exercise first, because you're going to need to maintain this position in order to perform the rest of the routine. So after you guys have got this exercise down, we're going to add on to it. So the next progression after you have this motion down is going to be mini marches. So all this is maintaining that low back against the floor, maintaining your lower abdominals nice and tight, and you're going to bring one knee up and then back down. You're only bringing your knee up maybe 3 to 6 inches off the floor and then coming back down nice and slow. Make sure you're maintaining that tightness of your low back and your core as you're doing this. So you're going to just gently alternate between sides. You're going to do about 15 to 20 repetitions on each side, maintaining that tight core. The next exercise is going to be a straight leg raise. So you're going to bring one leg straight down. You're going to keep the other knee bent. You're going to tighten up that core, press your low back into the floor, and then go ahead and lift that straight leg right about to the level of your other knee, and then come back down nice and slow, and then repeat. So you're going to do about 10 to 15 repetitions of this exercise, maintaining that tight core. If you feel like you're starting to lose that core tightness, then just stop, reset, tighten back up, and then continue the exercise. Another important point I should mention here is you should not be holding your breath as you're maintaining your tight core. Sometimes that can be difficult, and that's why I want you to make sure that you get the first exercise down before you progress to the rest. After you're done with that leg, just go ahead and gently bring it up, bring the other leg down, tighten up that core again, and repeat on the other side. So 10 to 15 repetitions should be enough to start with. All right, so for the next exercise, you're going to gently flip onto your stomach, and we're going to do an exercise called Superman's. Now, what this entails is you're going to bring your arms straight up overhead, and then you're going to bring them up as you're bringing your legs slightly off the ground. So the only point of contact with the floor is going to be your hips and your pelvis region. Okay, so you're gonna come straight up. You're gonna try to hold this position if you can, 20, 30, 40 seconds, as long as you can maintain it without any pain. Now, the exercise may be very difficult to do, but I want you to try to build up your time to over a minute. So again, gently bringing your hands up and your legs at the same time, and you're just gonna hold in this position. Make sure your core is nice and tight, and you're just holding in this position. You should feel it getting tough in your core and in your low back. And once you cannot hold the position anymore, gently come back down and relax. The last strengthening exercise we're going to show in this video is going to be an exercise called bird dogs. So with this exercise, you're going to get on the floor again, on your hands and your knees. Now to start off, you would just want to make sure your core is nice and tight, the same as any other exercise that we do. You want to start bringing up one arm and then bring it back down. You want to go ahead and alternate, bring the other arm up just to about neutral, about shoulder height, and bring it straight back down. When you feel comfortable with that, then we're going to switch to doing the legs. So this is going to be tougher since your legs weigh more than your arms do. So you're going to bring your leg back, again, to about neutral position with your hips and your spine, and then come back to the middle. An important point with this exercise is you want to maintain a neutral spine. So if you notice that your spine is tilting one way or the other, then back off a little bit, do a little bit less range of motion, and make sure that core is tight to maintain the spine position. So again, bringing one leg back, keeping that spine neutral, so you don't want to be tilting any direction. All you want to do is just bring your hips straight back and then come back to the middle. When that gets easy for 10 or 15 repetitions, then we can incorporate the tougher part of the exercise, which is the actual bird dog pose. You're going to bring up your arm and your opposite leg. So I'll use my left arm and I'll bring up my right leg at the same time. And you're going to point, hold for a couple seconds, and then come down nice and slow to the middle. And then you're going to alternate to the other side. So bring up your right arm and your left leg at the same time. You're going to hold in that neutral position, and then you're going to relax. Just make sure your core is tight throughout these exercises. So I'll do one more repetition. You're going to bring up your left arm, right leg, point straight out in front of you, hold for a few seconds, and then come back down. Then you're going to alternate, right arm up, left leg, hold for a few seconds, and then come back to the middle. One more point about that bird dog exercise. You want to make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips to make sure your spine is in neutral alignment. So there you go, everybody. Those are some exercises that you can start doing at home to strengthen your core and your low back musculature. These exercises were specifically designed to help people with low back or sciatic nerve pain, but they can be beneficial to anybody looking to improve their posture and their low back and core strength. I'm going to make some future videos progressing these exercises for somebody that's a little bit more advanced and wants to do some more core exercises that help progress them along the way. If you guys found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can see anytime I upload a video. My plan is to upload every single day during the week, Monday through Friday, and on the weekends when I can. I'm going to attach a link up here to my previous video where I discussed low back and sciatic nerve pain stretches that are particular to those suffering from those injuries. I'm also going to make future videos discussing proper lifting technique so you can hopefully avoid any injuries like the ones discussed here. I really thank everybody for checking out my video. Please go to my channel and check out my other videos. I have a lot more great content coming soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.